got something a little different for you today. My guest is not someone that you might expect to hear interviewed here on Vote Pro Podcast. He's not directly involved with cannabis politics or medicine or business, but if you follow cannabis culture as I do, you have no doubt seen this man's work. He's an amazingly creative visual artist. His cannabis-themed paintings, sculptures, etchings, and mosaics have been featured at exhibits and galleries too numerous to name. He's been featured in many major media outlets, including a recent write-up in High Times for his association with our favorite, The Last Prisoner Project. I'm very pleased to welcome to VoteProPot-Cast, Mohan Sundaresan. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure. I'm sure I pronounced your name wrong, as I have 3 times already.
It doesn't matter. It's a tongue twister. I usually tell people if you can't pronounce Sundaresan, just think of sun-dried raisins.
Oh, that's perfect, man. I like that. The problem is I'm a stoner, so I can't even remember sun-dried raisin. I read your bio, and it says on there that you were born in India in 1945, so I'm not giving away anything that isn't public. So that puts you, if my math is right,
sure.
That puts you at about 75. And your bio suggests that
I'll be 75 this year.
You didn't really start as a full-time artist till later in life.
No, artist. I'm not an artist as what one knows of artists. I'm just a simple, ordinary guy, just being inspired by nature and putting things together. Because nobody creates anything. Everything has been created, from the canvas to color, or the guitar, or the piano. Everything has been created. You're just putting either sounds or colors together, and according to your mood. I think it's now lately that since 2018, I started putting a leaf on it on the request of my manager. So I've been having some fun with that. But normally I wouldn't like to have anything figurative, because my paintings are for people to see with their minds, not with their eyes. But I mean, it's a technique that I just happened to, by mistake, fall onto. And now I realize that kids, tiny kids to old people, everyone who see it can interact with it. And that's my joy. I'm not doing this for money or anything like that. It's just, that's my way of life.
For those of you who would like to see some of his art, his website is Mohan La Jolla, like California, like San Diego. LAJOLLA, and you can find him on Twitter and Facebook as well. So your art isn't, I guess cannabis-themed art isn't really a good way to put it. Some of your art has cannabis leaves in it, and it's beautiful, but a lot of it is just beautiful mosaics and weaves, and it's just amazing. How did you come up with that technique?
When I do my craft, I try not to think too much. It's just random. I make 2 canvases. I color 2 canvases. Mm-hmm. No, not paintings. I color 2 canvases, and then I randomly cut them into stripes and weave them, glue them with super glue, and I weave them together. It's not pieces put on top of each other. And then I see how these 2 colors blend with each other. And usually I try to use one which is a bright, sunny one, and it depends on the mood which I'm in on that day and what inspirations I get from nature. It's or people's faces from their smile, because a smile makes every face beautiful. It doesn't matter what features they have. It's because it's the heart that you feel,
Yeah, your art has a 3-dimensional quality that really makes it jump out. And you can stare at one of your pieces for a few minutes, and it really takes you somewhere else. That's an amazing gift.
That's the whole purpose. It's just to initiate. I have a feeling that there's very little imagination, because as you say, artists, do you go to school to learn art? You can't learn how to imagine.
Right. That's exactly right.
You can't learn how to imagine it's just like a singer. If a singer sings, he doesn't have a very trained operatic voice or anything like that. He may sound like a tin can, but if he sings from the heart, it touches everyone.
Yeah, it's about expressing yourself.
Yeah, it's yourself, yes. Thank you.
Right?
It's yourself that you're trying to express, putting yourself out there. Maybe it's, what do they say, confession?
Right.
Or I don't know what. But at least I'm able to release a lot of negative energies that are in me. And when I get into my work, I'm just drifted away.
Well, what do you hope other people take away from your work? Because there's obviously a lot of inspiration and a lot of, thought and just kind of feeling that goes into your art. What do you hope people take away?
To be very open, from the minute I get the canvas, the raw canvas shipped from I take a photograph of the box which it came in, the canvas, and the procedures, each and every procedure. Every day, what I've done, I take a short video and send it to my manager, and he posts it. And I want people to see that it's not, I'm not a rocket scientist, or I'm not a talented person. Everyone is talented.
Oh, I don't know if I would say that.
To find your own thing.
Yeah.
To find your own thing and do it, because there's beauty in uniqueness.
Absolutely.
Picasso said, the reason for life is to find your gift, and its purpose is to give it away.
Boy, that sums it up, I think, really.
And not in any direction, because this to come to this realizing of your gift, it comes from all directions, and it should go also back there. Now, what one tries to do is, if they are able to do something, they want to cash in on it, when money gets involved, you're carried away. It doesn't matter how much of a saint you are, or a crook. Yeah. Money changes the person, and that's why I try to stay out of all that.
I agree with you completely.
I leave it to my manager. I say what you feel, what it is, but it's going all to donations in any case. So I'm not interested in doing it for the sake of motivated from money. I'm happy that I can release this energy, to be very honest.
What part does cannabis play in your art?
Cannabis is, there's no play it has. It's part of my lifestyle. It's just like I get up in the morning, I have the coffee, I have a hit of cannabis, and it's not a recreational thing for me to get me into a certain frame of mind or in a mood or anything like that. No. I get that only straight from nature, because that's the purest form of inspiration for me. Because I take cannabis because I want to get into a certain frame of mind. Right. No, then I'm contemplating. My mind is with work then. I don't want to be present when I'm working.
Well, would you say that cannabis inspires you in some way, though? The use of it? I mean, do you think your art would be as complete as it is, or you would feel as complete with your work?
Cannabis for me, there are two ways of using cannabis. I mean, leaving the medicinal part of it out. But for recreation, I don't use it for recreation because my mind is so much filled of joy. I sometimes tell I tell myself jokes. It sounds funny. But I don't need any extra thing to give me that beautiful feeling. But when I have cannabis, it helps me recreate my thinking.
I see.
It doesn't. I don't use it for recreation. It's both the same alphabets used, but it helps me recreate my thoughts.
How long have you used cannabis? How long has it been part of your life?
Oh, it's 20 years now.
So not that long, really, in the scheme of our age.
No, I used to drink heavily.
Did
you? After I came upon this weaving, and that happened by mistake, I was trying to paint as to how people should look at it. I tried going into galleries, and it was just every street was a dead end. And I used to drink heavily because of frustration and what the heck is going on, Yeah. And then one day I was so drunk, I said, enough of all this canvases. I had quite a few canvases. I cut two of my most favorite ones in strips.
Wow.
To throw it away in the garbage. And the next morning I came in and I looked at my table and I saw these two heaps of spaghetti-looking canvas cut up into strips. I said, no, let me try weaving it in together. And I wove them together.
Wow.
And when I turned upside down, I was just seeing the bare canvas side.
Uh-huh.
But when I turned it over, I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah. No kidding. That's amazing.
And I immediately ran over to this friend of mine, Professor Mandel. He's one of the leading neuroscientists. And he's a professor at UCSD, an elderly gentleman. And I ran over and showed it to him. And he said, where did I get this from? I said, I happen to have done it. He said, that's the closest he's ever come to Einstein's theory of random order. That itself gave me so much energy to go more random with men. And I've been doing it now since 2015.
Wow.
And when I finished my very first piece and I got that shock, booze was out of my life from that moment on.
That's great.
And I feel so energized because then I used to drink and also smoke pot, and I was a mess, to be very honest. And that's why now, with this way of expressing myself, I'm so free. I can show whatever ugly side of me is in there in one colored canvas, and I can try to feel the joy which I genuinely feel in the other canvas, and it comes out, and I weave it both together. Because we all have two sides to us, but we are ashamed to show the dark side.
Well, I read in your bio that you were a medical cannabis patient for some chronic pain. Is that kind of how you got into?
Yeah, I broke my wrist, and then I used to have it. But then I was in a total mess. I did not know whether it helped me, and because of my drinking and the cannabis, I was in a confused state. But that was because of my left wrist. I broke it, and through that I got cannabis because somebody recommended. And I tried it out, and I felt very comfortable after that. And I'm more relaxed. I'm not so anxious. Mm-hmm. I do things at my pace because I've come to realize that anyone, when they're doing their thing at their own pace, they invite themselves to unbelievable experiences of mind. Mm-hmm. It takes you, it energizes you. You know, for me, that is getting into contact with the unknown.
Right.
It's not God and all that. To me, God is the unknown. Every religion categorizes God as a he. Mm-hmm. God, to me, is something unknown. You can't put a label on that. And that, believe you me, and that is deep within yourself.
Well, I think, especially for an artist, I think cannabis helps you find a part of your consciousness that's always there, but it's not as exposed. And maybe that's why so many artists kind of look to it to help them find it doesn't change you. It just helps you see maybe a different way of moving forward.
Could be, but it has very little influence on what I'm doing because, first of all, what I'm doing, I've got no idea. So nothing else.
That makes two of us.
I'm just enjoying it. And
that's the key to life.
Cannabis helps. That's all I can say about it, you know?
Well, you know, we had Steve D'Angelo on a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the Last Prisoner project. And I understand
Yes.
You've donated a piece of art or some art for that project?
Yes, I donated a piece because it's so stupid laws, justice. This whole thing just serves one side of the story, justice. And people then were put into jail for such minor
Trivial
situations that they're running around with garbage bags full of pot.
Yeah, exactly. And besides, it's a plant, right?
And all this takes place. That's why people use cannabis for its wrong purpose. For me, it's just the same as cilantro when I'm cooking.
Right.
I use cilantro. I use mint. That's another thing which is a part of my lifestyle. It's nothing special to me. It means a lot to me, and it helps me out.
Tell me about your, I don't know how to say it, your career. I mean, it seems as though you've sort of taken off. People are noticing your art. I've seen you, multiple exhibits and galleries. How has that changed the way you look at your art? I mean, obviously people are willing to pay money now for your art, and I know that's not why you're in it. Has it changed the way you, how many pieces you turn out or how you treat it, or it doesn't make any difference at all?
It's as I said, it's all random. I never have a plan of anything. I took a walk the other day and I saw these leaves on the road, on the sidewalk. When I was taking my dog for a walk, I picked just one up because the whole bunch of them looked so beautiful,
Yeah.
And I took one out. And that inspired me, and I put it on, Steve put it on, my manager, he put it on Instagram. And there's such a lot of response. But that is exactly what I'm trying to come to. We have everything within our reach, but it's so strange. We want something which is beyond our reach, and that's why most of us are sick.
Yeah.
Because all the gifts from Mother Nature are healing, and we don't take much respect to that because we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves, and when I take my dog for a walk, I meet people and I tell them, dig into your pockets and just your spiritual pockets and just see what wonders you pull out. But everyone don't want to know about that because they're all driven to climb up the ladder. Stay there and come down the ladder and see if the ladder is on strong grounding, on strong footing.
Well, it's the American way,
No, this is all over the world.
Well, you're right.
This is all over the world.
You're right.
No, the greed, the greed is all over the world. And then eventually you see what's happening. How many unjust locked up? How many are dying of hunger? I mean, these are thoughts. I'm not talking about the deprived or the neglected. I'm talking about the forgotten. Babies dying at birth. Just to think about that. And I had these feelings when I was young also. It's not now that I'm coming close to heaven's door. I'm trying to buy cheap tickets. No. No, it's not that. I had that, and I'm just fortunate. I feel so blessed to be able to do something in that direction. Because if I wasn't doing all this, I wouldn't be talking to you, and the people who are hearing wouldn't be hearing what I have to say. I thank you all.
Well, that's beautiful. What do you have coming up in the near future in terms of, where people might be able to read about you or see you? Do you have any exhibits coming up or any gallery?
There are a couple of magazines that have been writing about me. Now there are over 20 magazines.
Yeah, I've seen them.
For me, it doesn't make me any taller.
No, it doesn't change your art at all either, does it?
My saying is a pride and a praise or a put down is like water on a duck's back to me. Whether negative or positive, I'm free to acknowledge a person's opinion. Fair enough. But people follow. They don't have an opinion of their own. I should tell you that.
You have a beautiful outlook on life, Mohan, and I appreciate that, and I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about this because, like I said in the intro, it's not politics, it's not business, it's deeper than that. And
the reason, balancing the reason and your purpose in life, that's the main thing, and this is a road the individual has to take. My main thing is just enjoy life, and the most that the individual has to get out of themselves. It's not extras from the outside, because there's one thing I would like to leave you with. We are all born stars covered in skin, but the light we seek twinkles only from within.
Wow. I think that's a beautiful place to leave it. Thank you, Mohan, very much. Go check out MohanJolla and check out Twitter and Facebook at Mohan La Jolla. Check out his artwork, and please go to lastprisonerproject.org, read about it, and make a donation if you can. Mohan, it's been a great pleasure speaking with you today. I want to thank you for taking the time to chat with me. I wish you all the best.
My pleasure.
In your future artistic endeavors. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
You have a very pleasant evening, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you for joining us for Vote Pro Podcast. If you enjoy the show, we'd love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts at VoteProPot.com/contact or send us an email at podcast@VoteProPot.com, and please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to be part of the show, call our message line at 240-257-2441. Tell your friends about us and be sure to like, follow and share us on social media. Just go to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter and do a search for Vote Pro Pot.
Lock me up, find me good, label me a menace to your quiet neighborhood. I don't grow no plants, the state says I can't. That's not freedom, freedom, freedom. That's the point. Smoke a bowl, I roll a joint. Do what I want, if I hurt nobody, that's the point. And if I wanna get high, why shouldn't I? That's not freedom, freedom, freedom. That's the point. Decide what's best for you and me. Smoke a bowl or roll a joint. Do what you want, if it hurts nobody, that's the point. So let's get high, yeah, you and I. It's called freedom, freedom, freedom. It's called freedom, freedom, freedom. Oh yeah, that's the point.